Hi, my name is Justin. Welcome to our Scratch, the fourth lesson. Now, today is 2022, the first year. Happy New Year. Today we'll be learning how to make a Happy New Year music card with fireworks. So let's see what it looks like. When you press the green flag, the program runs. And we can see that there's lots of fireworks, pretty patterns, and also a very enjoyable background music. And also, there's greetings, and when a firework explodes, there's a firework popping sound. Don't remember to put a thumbs up, subscribe, and the notification bell to know for our new projects. First one. When you make a Happy New Year with fireworks, let's run through the steps before we actually start. Step number 1. When you make a firework with only one layer, this will be very important as our basic structure. Number 2, when you make more fireworks, when you extend from the one firework to make it like more prettier by adding different layers. Number 3, many fireworks with different patterns and sizes. We can change the pattern by making another sprite costume and the size of it. And number 4, we need to add a firework pop sound. So whenever the firework is about to explode, there's a pop sound and then it explodes. And we also need to make a New Year song. And last, we need to add greetings. How to add greetings, you just write Happy New Year and write who it's from, and we'll talk about the rest later. Well, let's just start using Scratch. First, we have to go into Google or which one of your browsers you like using, and we go to scratch.mit.edu and press enter key, and then right now we're here. So if you don't have a profile, you can make your own profile. Right now I have my profile here, so yep. Now we're going to press create, and we created the project. Now we are going to name it. So I'm going to name it Happy New Year with fireworks. Right now, let's start. Well, first we need to make a firework, so delete the cat sprite and paint. Right now, a firework is constructed of many different shapes, so all we need to draw is one part and let the programming do the scattering. I'm going to change the color to make it look better, and yeah. So I'm going to make it look like it. I'm going to make it purple, red, and blue because I like those colors. So yeah. And we can make the thickness bigger. So this is what it looks like. Right now it's too big because if this is going to be a one particle, it's going to get blocked out on the edges. So we need to make this a bit smaller, and we need to drag it down into the middle. But first, don't worry about that. So, going back to step 1, we need to make a firework with only one layer. So we always start with the one green flag clicked because that's what we always start with. So the program starts when the green flag is clicked. We need to make a variable called number. It's okay when it's done. And we need to set our number. I'm going to set it to 6 first. That's a reasonable amount. Now let's go to, it's got to scatter in different directions. So we need to repeat the same number as the number. So then it won't go for a certain amount. We need to turn the degrees. What did we calculate last time in the first lesson? It equals 360 divided by the number. You can just duplicate it, or you can just go down to variables and drag it. Right now, it's not create a firework pattern. This is because we need a clone. Clones are you can make different clones with like a parrot, and then it allows the fire to copy itself. So yeah, now it actually starts to look a bit pretty. So this is our main code. But we need to drag this thing called when I start as a clone. That means when you're a clone, you have to do something. We're going to repeat 100 times, and we're going to move one step. One step. Because 10 steps will just like run out. It'll like go way too far. So we're going to do 10 steps. And then it starts to look like this. Oh, there's a problem. Why is there still a little part sticking out? So this is because our parent is not moving, only the clones are. So we need to hide it. And then when you start as a clone, you can show it. So basically when you start, it hides, so you can't see it, but it can still duplicate itself. And then when I start as a clone, it shows. And the first step is pretty much done. So how do we make a firework? So just then we made a one layer firework. Now we need to make a firework with a lot of layers. So basically fireworks start from this, and the number starts to get bigger. Let me draw the dots. And then it gets even bigger. And even bigger. So the next layer always has a further distance from the middle and always has more dots. So now one more. So the further it goes, the more dots it will have. Sorry, because like this pen's so big. But yeah. So this is what it will look like, your actual firework. Not this ugly, because my drawing skills are horrible. But yeah, but we have to talk about this. This is called the arithmetic sequence. It's very special because it has a common difference, such as the number of each layer. Let's see, 18, 15, 12, 9, 6. The common difference is like what's it decreasing by or increasing by. So it's decreasing by like 3, so you write -3, which is the same as -3. Yeah. So as we see on the first one, 18 minus 3 equals 15. 15 minus 3 equals 12, so the common difference is 3. How about this one? 18 times 0.1. Just to say, if you might get confused by 18 times 0.1, 18 times 0.1 is technically 18 divided by 10. So, yes. You don't have to do times 0.1, you can just do divided by 10. So what's the common difference then? So, let's see. That's 1.8, 1.5, 1.2, 0.9, 0.6, and 0.3. So, the common difference is -0.3. So, how do we find out if it's 0.3 or -0.3? So we find out like the difference between the first two numbers. Since the arithmetic sequence has a common difference, we can see the change between the two adjacent numbers is always the same. Because the difference between 12 and 9 is always -3. So we can prove this by going 18 and 15. Well, let's go to step number 2. We need to extend to one firework with many layers. So if we set number to 18, then it has like more, so it looks better. But why is it in a spiral change? Spiral shape. So we can also change our number by -3, and it should look good. So like the more number, set the number to 18, the more clones it will have. So we need to repeat until the number of clones, the number equals 0. You know why 0? Because they're 18 and it keeps on minusing 3. So until you get to 0, then the program stops. And at the end, we have to delete the clone. Because if we don't delete the clone, then the entire program is like broken. Because then it'll just stay there forever. But we can also wait until the number equals 0 and then it'll have a better effect. Because they just do that and then it'll pop this. So it just doesn't like spiral out, it just does it normally. Now, we need to make it so like the step is but like we changed this right to 1 so it doesn't look as good. So now we can make a new variable called steps. So at the start we always have to change the step to the number times 0.1. If you don't understand this, like I said before, you can just do 10 number divided by 10. So we also have to set the move one step there. Because if you don't do it, then it's still the same result. So it looks better right now. So yeah. Now, we need to make it so we have to repeat and then till 7 and 100. Because like that's gonna decide how many clones there are. And I mean like how many steps they move. So like they could like be really big or really small. So we're gonna drag forever over here. Because then I can only do 1 and we'll put hide under it. So now step 3 as shown above. We need to make many fireworks with different patterns and sizes. But first we need to decide where the firework will start. Or first let's just go into backdrops and then there's like choose the backdrop. Got the end, there's an X and Y grid. So we can technically figure out where it is. So right now we can see this. And we want our firework to be negative 150 to 150. Since our board is in a rectangle shape, its y is negative 100 to 100. So now let's go back to code. And X, go into operators, pick random, negative 150 to 150. At the same time, Y also needs to change because it's a rectangle. So the number should be smaller. So it's negative 0.100, negative 100 to positive 100. So now it's starting to take shape. So if we want to make it better, we can change the number to 380 because it's not a full tone now. So it will look different. So now we want to change the size of it. So we need to make a variable called size. It's for all spikes right now, so yeah. Now I'm gonna set the size. We need to change the size to we need to pick random because we need to think of like what the size is. So we need to pick the size to 0.2 to 0.1. So set the step number to 0.1 divided by 0.1. So now we have to divide it by size. So this is how like big the firework is going to be. Now we're going to make some more costumes. So we always have to switch to the next costume after the program is done. Let's go into costumes and let's paint some more. You can make your own ones or you can just copy mine. I'm not that good at drawing, so don't mind me. You can make your own designs, but I'm gonna just draw I'm gonna draw love heart and fill it. It might be a bit bad, but yeah. To make it look better, you can change the size, and then it'll be easier. Sorry, this is very ugly, but I did not find one on the web, so yeah. So we can make other colors, and yeah. And we need to drag it smaller, or else it will be way too big. I'm gonna paint another one. This time I'm gonna paint in green, and I'm gonna add some random spirals. And let's go back to code. And now let's see the result. Green flag. It's too big. So we need to go back to the costume. So we need it, but we also don't want to see the size things because it gets really confusing. So we have to make them smaller. Oops, sorry. I have to use the arrow key to make them a bit smaller. On the same thing, you can change the size, which says the size 1000, you can change it smaller. And we also need to change this smaller, so it should look better. But there's a problem. It avoids the middle, if now it's a ring and it stops at the middle. So this is because we need to drag it down into the middle. I figured that it wouldn't work, so just use the arrow keys. Just change it into the middle by using the arrow keys. Put down and I'll put it down, right down, yeah. So right now we can see the basic shape coming out. Now we need to add the firework sound and the New Year song. So let's start sound. Let's go into sound. This is the first time we've used this, which we didn't really need it. So we're gonna put it right before the show. So we already have it on the web. So you can't see this, sorry, because I can't share the screen 2 times at the same time. So yep, because I'm screen recording and then you can't see it. Right now I'm uploading a sound. Don't worry, because I'm selecting it right here. You can't see what I'm selecting, but I put it down in the description below. Click those to find out what it looks like what it sounds like on the link. So we can cut this, and now we have just one. Right now, because I'm screen recording, you can't hear the sound. But when you do it yourself, you can hear it. So we also want the background music. So now let's go to events where green fire clicked and drag to forever. But we wanted to keep on repeating. And go to sound and play sound until. So when you finish it, and then it repeats. So play sound. So we need to record. We don't really need to record, but we can just press the X button. So then we go upload sound. There's a link below for also this song, but I have it right here now. So we can cut off the ends, and yeah. So this is basically the entire program, 1 to 4. Now, let's hear what it sounds like. Right now you can hear it. I don't know why last time it didn't work, but you can hear it now. So let's go to step 5, add greetings. So when you go to backdrops, and I'm gonna make a backdrop with pink edges. I'm gonna make the fill black, but I'm going to put the outline pink. And yep, pink. And we can make it a bit thicker. And you want to drag right from the edge to cover the entire thing. Now we need to try and move it so we can see all the sides. So we need to make it a tiny bit smaller so we can see all of it. Now we're going to drag that up a bit. So yep, now it's done. Now we need to design this right, and we need to write our greetings there. So I'm going to call it called greetings. So now we need to write our greeting. I'm going to write Happy New Year. But first let's choose the font. I'm going to use handwriting, and curly are probably the most beautiful ones. I'm going to choose handwriting because I just like it. I like how it looks. And now let's type Happy New Year 2022. It seems a bit small, so we want to make it bigger. So just change the size like that. And now I'm going to drag it right in here. You can see it. Drag it to the top. We're going to change X to 0 and Y to 0. So now we can see it. So we can drag it down a bit right now. So yeah. So right now, we're going to just write from Ting Ting. Or you can write whatever your name is here. And we can change the color. I'm going to change the color to green. So now we need to change it so like it starts to change color as soon as we press play. So we go to looks, and it says change color effect. If you change color effect, the color changes, but we want to change the brightness, like how light and how dark it is. Pick random from, let me try -50 to 50. So let's go 0 first, and then we have to do it forever. So if it keeps on doing this, then it repeats a bit too fast, so when you wait 1 second. It's a new day, and let's see the result. Okay, it's pretty good. Now let's see -50. Okay. It's all really good. And this is the end of the video. It's all really good. And this is the end of the video. Hope you subscribe, and bye.